that one of the top fieldcraft instructors in the IDF would be a 67-year-old man from Hawaii. The life story of Nadav Tzadok Yair is indeed out of the ordinary. He was born and raised in Hawaii before it achieved statehood in the U.S. in 1959.
I come from a mixed family, like part Hawaiian, part Japanese, part Chinese. As much as I'm was connected to the islands and learned everything, the traditions, etc., and very much connected to they're striving till now to be an independent nation.
The turning point came when Nadav met an Israeli couple who told him about life in the communal settlements in Israel, the kibbutzim, which were a popular attraction in the 1970s.
When I met these Israelis that told me about kibbutz, it really caught my attention because I'm from the 70s, in my teenage years. And during those years, communes were very popular in America. And when I heard the word that there's communes in Israel called kibbutz, I knew that this is where I was supposed to come. And when I made that decision to come, I came without knowing a soul here or even knowing a word of Hebrew. And I just knew that I'm coming here for forever.
After a short while, Nadav converted to Judaism, got married, and joined the IDF as a fighter in a special unit of the Golani Brigades. He then became a fieldcraft instructor working with all sorts of military units, teaching them martial arts, survival skills, camouflage, and other skills. Even former IDF Chief of Staff Gabi Ashkenazi acknowledged his contribution.
Army units wouldn't ask his help if they didn't think he had something to contribute. I think that he had a crucial part of training the forces. The IDF owns him a lot for what he teaches us.
For the last 11 years, Nadav has lived with his family in a makeshift tent on the outskirts of Kfar Tapuach. It's one of the most remote and dangerous Jewish settlements in the West Bank. In his home, we can see some of the objects that he uses as deadly weapons. Some of them don't look like weapons at all. But despite the tough image that he has, Nadav says he is a peaceful man. He's even changed his mind about the way Hawaiians should act.
They proved me wrong, that they can do it through peace, and I thought that it had to be done by force. But, the committees, they decide, and they're correct. And it's like, you gotta eat your hat, and they're succeeding.
He also considers himself a religious person and has even built a mikveh, or Jewish ritual bath, on his porch. One thing that captures attention is Nadav's resemblance to the iconic character of Mr. Miyagi from the 1980s film series, The Karate Kid.
Which is funny because Mr. Miyagi name is Morita, his family name, his real family name. And my grandmother's sister married into the Morita family. And so Mr. Miyagi is we're related through marriage.
Recently, Nadav gained some media attention with a number of TV reports and by participating in a reality show. In the meantime, he continues to live here, in this sensitive spot, a place he had never heard of in his childhood, but that has become his home for the last 40 years.